Welcome back, writers. Welcome back, story keepers. It's good to have you in class 4. We are talking about documenting family stories. So welcome back. Today's session is going to be a bit of a review of classes 1 through 3. Hello, welcome back. Thank you for the hearts. Welcome back. I hope you're ready to document some family stories. This is going to be a little bit of a repeat of classes 1 through 3. We do not have to do this process quickly. So I'm going to go back through class 1, 2, and 3 very briefly. You still need to do your homework from 1 through 3. But we are going to start class 4 with a little bit of a review. Okay, so if you have not done your homework, don't panic. You still have time to do your homework assignments. So in class 1, let me start with who I am. I'm Dr. Ebony. Welcome back. I am a story keeper. I am a professor. I am a writing coach, and I am also the author of several books for children. And I love talking about writing. I love talking about writing stories and documenting who we are for ourselves and for our future generations. So if you have interest in writing for yourself or for future generations, you're in the right spot. Thank you for the hearts. So in a time when they are trying to erase stories and delete our existence, I think it is now imperative to start documenting your family histories, your family stories, okay? I come from a long line of storytellers in the family. I have been blessed with elders and ancestors who have kept our stories alive in my family, and I am taking that torch and I'm helping others document their family history, their family stories as well. So if you have any interest, you're on the right spot. Class 1, we talked about identifying family members who you could interview. So who are the family members who are around you who would have the information you need? Who's the family member who has all of the photos, all of the notebooks, all of the journals? Find that person. I want you to identify 3 people in your family that you could interview, okay? So you may have that person, those people already in mind. Like in my family, I know it's my mom, my dad, it's one of my cousins, okay? So find 3 people, your birth family or your chosen family, that's up to you. What you need is the answers. What you need is the stories so that you can start documenting and recording and transcribing and writing them yourself. So that was your first assignment. Find those 3 people in your family. Part 2 of that assignment, part 2 of class 1, was to write 10 open-ended questions. So closed questions are those that you can provide with a yes/no answer. There's really no other options, right? It doesn't leave a lot of room for conversation. It doesn't leave a lot of room to fill in the blanks. The open-ended questions are those that will be a better prompt for conversation, for dialogue, okay? How can you describe your childhood? Can you describe what the world was like when you were born? Okay, those are some examples. What are your biggest fears? What are your biggest regrets? What are some of the goals that you have? Things like that, okay? So those are open-ended questions. So in addition to identifying the 3 people who you're going to interview, you are going to write the 10 open-ended questions, okay? It's going to be really important. We're going to use those questions in class 5, all right? Class 2, I wanted you to identify a focus. After you identify people to interview in your family, after you start receiving pictures, photos, dates, names, descriptions, after you start receiving all that, you have to decide how you're going to organize all that information. So class 2, we talked about how we could identify a focus, okay, for your story. You can't write, I would You can, but I don't recommend you try and write everything all at one time, okay? Choose one focus. You could choose education. You could choose reunions. You could choose parenting. You could choose traveling, okay? Choose a focus. The focus is up to you, okay? But choose one and start there. Once you've already documented one family story, you can move on to another focus. But for now, just choose one. So we have you identifying 3 family members. We have you identifying 3 family, preparing your 10 open-ended questions to ask for your interviews. And then I want you to choose a focus, okay? Let me see. I think I got... Oh, thank you for the hearts. That was nice. Welcome, welcome. Okay. After you have written your 10 open-ended questions, now you're deciding on your focus, okay? After you've decided on your focus and you have your 3 family members that you're going to interview, I want you to start gathering some resources. And what do I mean by gathering resources? Collect the photos, collect names, collect journals, collect flyers if you went to a wedding or a funeral or a family reunion. Collect all of the materials that you can find that you already have around you. It's going to be really, really important just for you to have some material to work with as you're putting these stories together. On the back of the photos, add a name, add a date, add a description of who these people are to you, add a description of who these people are in the family. So you're story keeping now. You're keeping the record of who your family members are, okay? So you have photos, you'll have journals, you'll have notebooks, you may have cards. Oh, cards are amazing pieces of material that you can use for your stories. If you've received cards, if you've received any type of notice about a family reunion or a family member moving with a new address, write these things down, okay? Write a description while you can remember them and while you can pass them along, okay? So these are the type of materials we want to collect. Just look around your home. You don't have to leave yet. We're going to do research in the next class, okay? Start with what you already have in your possession, okay? So gather your resources. So step 1, we have identifying 3 family members. 2, we have preparing your 10 open-ended questions. 3, we have deciding on a focus. What are you going to look for? What types of information and how are you going to organize, right? And then 4, I lost count. 4, gather your resources, okay? Pictures, journals, notebooks, cards, any type of notice will do, all right? And start recording information on the materials. And then for next class, we will talk about conducting those interviews and then doing some outside research. So finding the materials that are not in your home already, okay? So thank you for joining me for class 4. If you are just catching up, welcome. You're just fine. You can start at the beginning. Actually, that's your assignment for today. Assignments 1 through 3 from classes 1 through 3, and then just go back and review those, okay? And start collecting your materials. Start identifying the family members that you can interview. Write your 10 open-ended questions, and start gathering your resources. Let me know who you are going to interview. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what your focus is. Let me know your open-ended questions. Give me some samples, and I'll read them in the comments. Welcome, and it's so good to talk family stories with you. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. Okay? Let me know in the comments what you're working on. See you next class.